Hello, and welcome to episode 3 of Oak&IV Skyrim.
Sorry, just thinking about my experiments.
Because it's an invisible Daedra head. Immersive Artwork. Alright, well, as you recall in our last adventure in Oak&IV Skyrim, we have been trying to free the women of Riften, including Inigo
My mind is on my experiments today. What did you need?
from Aaron, who is using a poison to keep them under control. In order to free them, we're going to have to go to a hag's raven nest and try and find the hag's cure. However, before we do that, if you look in the bottom right-hand side of the screen, you'll see that Greboag is hungry and thirsty. So he's going to stop off by the pub. And I'll see you on the other side of this door. Well, I mean, I won't actually see you. Obviously, you will see the video continue on the other side of this door. I'm just going to see my screen. Just the screen. But YouTube can see you. YouTube can always see you. These are two of our companions. Galahad from Colorful Magic.
Rare trinkets
And Sofia, the fun, fully voiced follower.
Do you have something to say? Oh, thank goodness it's you. I thought you were a stalker. No offense.
Okay, we're grabbing Sofia and we're leaving Galahad to wander Riften for a while. We'll pick him up later before we leave the city.
Fresh meats and
Learn
produce.
a library's
Get them
worth of
before they're
knowledge in
gone.
moments, or grow back that missing limb with
All
my
right,
genuine
let's
Falmer
head into
blood
the pub
elixir.
and have ourselves a little snack.
Beautiful baubles, gleaming gemstones.
Pub
The
snacks.
fairest horses and the highest quality in Skyrim.
People
Come
of
on in.
Riften,
Just stoke the fire.
Heed my
Take a
words.
seat and get the cold out.
the return of the dragons is not mere coincidence. This is one of
Yeah.
the signs.
What's your problem?
The signs that Lady Mara is displeased with your constant inebriation. Put down your flagons filled with your vile liquids and embrace the teachings of the Handmaiden of Kine.
Yes? We talked about this. Talon?
Kirava, certainly we can come to some
Yes?
sort of an understanding. These people must be made aware of.
My friend, I'm ready to pay what I owe. Find me in Riften jail. I will be waiting. Inigo. That's strange. Now, Greboag, as you might remember, was kicked out of the College of Whispers for going on a massive thievery spree. He ended up, through a long series of adventures here, in Skyrim, currently trying to earn entrance into the School of Spellcasting in Icicle Valley. But this name, Inigo, it means something to Greboag. He's not sure why. Maybe it's a memory of something in his past. Maybe it's a, foreshadowing of something in his future, a premonition. But this name, Inigo, means something to him. Let's see if we can find some other information about this Inigo character, who is apparently waiting in Riften jail.
Chaos they've sown.
Enough, Marama. We've all heard of the dragons and their return. There's no need to use them as an excuse to harass our customers.
Very well, Talon. I'll remove myself from this
We
den of
drink
iniquity.
to our youth, to
Beware
the
to
days
be
come
aware.
and gone.
Just keep the
For the
servants in the
age of
temple.
oppression
Let us all
is
sin
now
in peace.
nearly done.
We'll drive out the empire
Blessings of
from this
Mara upon
land
you.
that we own. With our blood and
How can I
our
argue with that?
steel, we'll take back our home.
Okay, just this once.
All hail to Ulfric, you are the High King. In
There's
your
plenty more where
great
that.
honor we
Just give a
drink and
holler.
we...
Talon. No, I haven't forgotten about that thing you helped me with. I checked the Khajiit's cell, and I'm afraid he doesn't have any flawless amethysts stashed there. There is a strange necklace and some ebony ore, though. That's about it, unless you want a stupid bug in a jar for some reason. Hey, he's got stuff in jars. Grebo loves stuff in jars. If none of that is any use, I'll cut you in on whatever I make from selling his weapons. His armor is already gone, I'm afraid. If he wants to keep his cell, he'll have to raise a few more septums somehow. Norton. This seems to be more about the mysterious Inigo, who is apparently paying to stay in Riften jail.
Thing. We're the children of Skyrim,
Immersive
and we
Artwork.
fight all our lives. And when Sovngarde beckons, every one of us dies. But this land is ours, and we'll
Hi,
sail it white
do you want to
clean
read The Black
of the
Horse?
surge that has sullied
You
our
have no
hopes and
hands, son.
our dreams.
We're going to check out
All
Inigo, but
hail
first I
to
do want to
Ulfric,
talk to this man
you
who
are
is
the High
apparently
King.
handless.
In your
I
great
bet he could
honor
use a
we
hand.
drink and we sing.
I know. What is this Black Horse?
The Black Horse Courier was once a newspaper in Cyrodiil. I believe it was written by Khajiit brothers.
I fear that
It
you
was
soon
centuries
lose us.
ago, but we tried to bring the Black Horse back.
Now is not the time
Here we
for
are.
exploration and discovery.
Want to buy the latest edition?
I'm relieved to hear you say
Or
that.
do you want to subscribe, perhaps?
Miss you terribly.
Eren,
I
owe
wish
you
to
my life.
subscribe to the Black Horse.
It would take a threat to
Excellent.
all of Skyrim for
May I
me to
have
buy.
your name, please?
My name is Grebo. Grebo Og. Actually, it's just Grebo Og, not Grebo Og. That would be ridiculous.
And that's it. You are now officially subscribed to the Black Horse. Thank you. Bye.
To inform with valor is worth dying for. The Black Horse Courier. Vampire attacks. The hungry undead have taken to brazenly attacking cities as darkness falls. Jarls and all holds have expressed outrage towards these new tactics, vowing to hunt the monsters down in their lairs and burn them out. These filthy creatures have no respect for light and law, said a guard in Riften. I'm glad that the Dawn Guard is reforming. Thinking of joining up myself. The group of the Guard was referring to is headquartered in the Rift, near the border with Morrowind and Cyrodiil. There is some confusion as to the origin of this so-called Dawn Guard, but what the Black Horse Courier has learned is that a former Vigilant of Stendar, named Isran, has founded the newest iteration of these vampire hunters and is intent on destroying the vampire menace once and for all. Keeper Karset seemed dismissive of Isran and his goals. Yes, vampires are an abomination that need to be wiped from the face of Tamriel, but Isran has always overestimated their strength. They are hardly more than beasts that need to be burned out of the holes in the ground they have hidden in, and not a viable threat, she said. Okay, let's talk for 1 minute about the Black Horse Courier, and then we will get back to tracking down this Inigo character and maybe finally getting ourselves, out of here and off to get to that Hag Raven's Nest. There we go. Alright, the Black Horse Courier is one of my favorite mods. It runs quietly in the background. What happens with the Black Horse Courier is that once you've subscribed, you will get issues delivered by carrier or found on the bodies of your enemies. Each issue will make reference to in-game events. There's an entire series of new issues that will be released as you go through the main quest. As you saw with the Dawn Guard, it's a decent way to get rumors and a little bit of background information if you're not paying that much attention to the rumors in the taverns. But the Black Horse Courier does something else that is very interesting. With mods like Icicle Valley, with mods like Worm's Tooth, with mods like Fallscar, the Black Horse Courier can detect, if they're properly entered, new lands and new locations. And the Black Horse Courier will include rumors about those new lands and new locations. For example, if there is a major battle between Stormcloaks and Imperials near the border with Icicle Valley, the Black Horse Courier will report that. If a group of Vigilants of Stendarr, randomly generated by Immersive Patrols, should choose to try and head to Fallscar, which they might, they've done it in the past, well, the Black Horse Courier will report that. There's all kinds of neat extra information that you can get in the Black Horse Courier that makes the mods you install feel more like they're all operating in a single world. It's a great mod. The only thing that slightly disappoints me about it is that it hasn't had an update in a while, but still, very worth having in your load order. And that's all I'm going to say about the Black Horse Courier for now. Let's go see about Inigo. Oh, and Immersive Artwork, another fun mod. Just add some paintings pretty much everywhere. Well, I mean, not everywhere. But you know what I mean. It adds paintings.
Looking to stay alive? Why take a
All
chance?
meat
Guaranteed, clean and free from rock joint.
Just a quick word about Olette. We're not going to be speaking with Olette right now, but Olette is from Interesting NPCs, and she is very interesting. Olette is adoptable. She is much more of a character. She has a lot more personality than vanilla adopted kids. She has custom dialogue if you marry someone from the Interesting NPCs mod. So I very highly recommend chatting with Olette, using her as a source of rumors while you're in Riften, and adopting her if you get to the stage where you decide you want to try out the adoption system. And that was our little Interesting NPCs commercial. Back to the game.
Make love like a saber cat, or crush your enemies to dust like a giant. Only a mere 20 gold coins, and all this could be yours. The fairest prices and the highest
Protect
quality
yourself
in
right.
Skyrim.
Buy armor from Grelka.
Buying and selling.
Another character added by Immersive Winches. And let's show off the Immersive Winches potion functionality for just a second here, since we are eventually going to go to that Hag Raven's Nest, and I'd like to, arm up first.
Yes? You have questions?
I'm looking for work. Got any leads?
Here, take a look at this. Some of the Jarl's men came by and left this bounty letter.
Oh, good. I wanted to try that out.
Excuse me?
Huh?
Try it out. What would you need a leather harness for anyway?
I don't want to waste any gold on cheap ale. Show me your strongest drinks.
Of course.
Lala's back pain is a boost to carrying capacity and regeneration. Rough Lover boosts all of your destruction and hand-to-hand skills. Lustful Eyes saves you some cash. And Stallion Endurance is a boost to health and magic and stamina. I think I might need a Stallion Endurance for tonight.
It would seem so.
Looking to stay alive? Why take a chance?
No lollygagging.
Cute Guard added by Deadly Wenches. And here we are, ready to talk with Inigo.
What are you doing down here?
It's fine. I'm allowed to be here.
Oh, my mistake then. Sorry, you can go on ahead. Disrespect the law and you disrespect me.
You're a terrible guard.
Is it me, or are the priests in Skyrim all perverts? I said I had injured my leg, and one of them told me to remove my clothes, so he could use his healing hands on me.
Riften's under my protection.
Needless to say,
You watch
he needed a
yourself
bit of
now.
healing himself after that.
Ooh, cloak. Important. The crazy Khajiit in Cell 1 is not to be disturbed. He paid us good money for that cage, so don't go bothering him. If he's still here in a month, I think we should enforce a little rent increase. I doubt we'll get the chance, though. You've all seen the way he looks. Won't be surprised if he tries to end his own life soon. If you see him in a particularly suicidal mood, get in there and stop him. He's been using the key we gave him, so if you need him, there is sorry. So if you need in there in a hurry, use the spare in the broken strong... Oh, fuck this. Really? Alrighty then. Why, I do believe that was the voice of Inigo. Beautiful.
Do you have something to say?
Could you wait right here for me?
Fine, but don't take advantage of me. At least not in that way.
Oh. Skyrim. Here. Could you please wait here for me, Sofia?
Don't be too long. I hate having to entertain myself.
What are you doing down here?
It's fine. I'm allowed to be here.
Oh, my mistake then. Sorry, you can go on ahead.
Do you
Another
seriously not
quiet
hear
day,
that?
I hope.
Not only are you gullible, you're a terrible guard.
Another quiet day.
Crazy Khajiit. Important. The crazy Khajiit in Cell 1 is not to be disturbed. He paid us good money for that cage, so don't go bothering him. If he's still here in a month, I think we should enforce a little rent increase. I doubt we'll get the chance, though. You've all seen the way he looks. Won't be surprised if he tries to end his life soon. If you see him in a particularly suicidal mood, get in there and stop him. He's been using the key we gave him, so if you need in there in a hurry, use the spare in the broken strong box above the fireplace. A dead man can't pay rent. Dead men can't pay rent. Warden Norton. Immersive Artwork. I know I'm plugging Immersive Artwork a little bit too much. I just really like it. It's a small mod, but the idea of just adding a little bit of art here and there is very pleasing to me. It's the kind of mod that really should have been done a long time ago. Now, Grebo feels a sense of recognition seeing Inigo in that cell.
Come to kill me at last, have you? Thank the gods. I can bear the guilt no longer.
Excuse me.
I know I must die. Beware, though. My newfound honor demands I defend myself.
Wait, do you know me?
I am in no mood for jokes. Strike me down. Take your revenge.
I honestly have no idea what you're talking about. A number of Imperials hit me on the head quite a lot. Who are you?
You don't remember? That is my fault also. I am your so-called friend Inigo. I was the one who killed you. I tried anyway. I am guilty. Kill me.
You didn't do a very good job, did you? Why are you in here?
After I shot you, I finally realized my mistake and tried to turn myself in. Your body was gone. The guards did not believe me. They said I was wasting their time. I had to pay them to put me in this cell. It is where I belong. I needed to repent. I need to repent.
This is your first chance to decide, as a player, your relationship with Inigo. I don't remember much, but it's clear that you owe me skips the rest of the conversation. I'm not the person you remember, but you look useful. That is an honest response if your character really never had anything to do with Inigo. Inigo won't believe you at first, but eventually you can convince him. Grebo does sort of remember Inigo. He doesn't know if he remembers him from the past or from a premonition, but there is something about Inigo in Grebo's mind. So Grebo answers with, "If you thought I was dead, then why are you here waiting for me?"
I heard tales of a remarkable adventurer, both brave and resourceful, matching your description. I knew it was you. It had to be. I knew you would be coming for me, so I waited. Are you going to kill me, or not?
As an adventurer, I spend most of my time running away and letting my friends deal with things. So I think you have me confused with someone else. In fact, I'm pretty certain of it now. But there's something familiar. So, kill you for what? I don't remember what happened.
I see that I must relive it again. Your memory is not what it was. We met on a job.
What kind of job?
The killing kind. We were hired by a lord called Dupin to kill his brothers. With them gone, Dupin would inherit a great fortune and promised us much gold in return. Do you remember none of this?
I'm still tempted, to be honest, but Grebo is not exactly an honest man. No, go on. And by not exactly an honest man, I mean not in any way an honest man.
Before we left, Dupin told me that if only one of us returned from our mission, that one would get the other's reward also. I was hooked on skooma at the time, and I had a bit of a debt problem. So...
You tried to kill me for my half of the reward? You clever bastard. I mean, how appalling that is.
I tried. That is what matters. It was not an easy choice. We only knew each other for a short time, but I had grown to like and respect you. We got on well and fought bravely side by side. I threw all that away for gold and skooma.
Did you get the reward?
No. Dupin was murdered by his sister before I made it back to his keep. Our deal died with him. Money is an evil like no other, my friend. It is only just that I die at your hand.
Are you still hooked on skooma?
No, I am done with this stuff. I want to die with my senses intact. Kill me now. I am ready.
No, my brave friend. You're no good to me dead in this cell. Come with me and fight by my side, and we shall slay evil. Sounds good. Did a basket and a bucket just disappear and reappear suddenly? Skyrim is a strange place.
I fight with you?
Yes, Inigo! Repay your debt with the blood of my foes!
Or die defending you. Yes, I accept. I feel lighter in my heart now you have given me this opportunity. It will be like old times.
Just watch where you aim that bow of yours. By which I mean, just don't shoot me in the head again.
Do not joke about such things, my friend. The sadness I feel for what I have done is brutal enough. For now.
All right, and we have added Inigo the Brave to our party. All right, we're going to grab Mr. Dragonfly. We're going to take a look at Inigo's journal. Now, I'm not going to read this right now, but I highly recommend, if you do pick up Inigo, reading his journal. It is full of insights as to his character, and it gives you a chance to really understand where you may fit in, either to the confusion that is his mind, or in terms of your mutual history. I'm also going to grab Inigo the Brave. Inigo the Brave is basically a choose-your-own-adventure book you can play with Inigo. His armor, or at least some armor for him. A lute, some arrows, ebony ore, random junk, and let's get you dressed, Inigo.
What is on your mind?
I need to trade some things with you.
Pooling our resources.
It's best to give Inigo Mr. Dragonfly. First off, because Mr. Dragonfly is Inigo's, but also because when Mr. Dragonfly is on Inigo, you get some neat options. I also like to give him Inigo the Brave and Inigo's journal. Though again, I recommend that you read at least Inigo's journal on your own when you get a chance.
Okay, let us get back to it.
Now, one more thing I want to show you before we leave here. It's Inigo's butt. No. Mod configuration. This is the Inigo MCM menu. So, Inigo. You can adjust all kinds of neat stuff about him. But you can also show Mr. Dragonfly. And since that jar is rather large and distracting, and there we go. Inigo is ready to accompany us on our great adventures.
I am here for you.
Any thoughts?
I'm thinking this jail will be my home until I die, or until I repay my debt to you.
Any thoughts?
I'm thinking the guards here are all blind, deaf fools. Don't worry, they didn't hear me say that.
Mind if I ask you something?
Go ahead, ask away.
Tell me about your past.
My brother and I never knew our real parents. We were found abandoned in a smelly shack by a soldier on his way to battle. We melted his heart with our fuzzy little faces, and he carried us to the nearest town. He deposited us at an orphanage, and that is where we spent most of our childhood.
Tell me more about your past.
My brother and I were adopted by a couple of retired assassins. I guess the orphanage did not do a family background check. Mine was perhaps a little more unconventional than most, but I suppose all childhoods are interesting to some degree. My parents provided me with love and encouragement. Apart from the nightly training sessions, we were a normal family. I was bullied by the other Khajiit children because of my unusual color and markings. My mother showed me a handy trick with a rock and a glove. I was never bothered again. Yes, bullies should not be tolerated. They soon learned that being different is not a weakness. My father showed my brother and I how to use a sword. My mother taught us the bow. Happy childhood memories. I grew up in Riverhold, not far from Cyrodiil. My brother and I headed for the Imperial City to find our fortune when we came of age. I found love, for a time at least. My brother found death. Well, now that I think about it, maybe it was not love. It was brief and, as it turned out, one-sided. Anyway, all that happened later. I will come to that soon. There is a little more to hear first. My mother and father are both gone. They died protecting a trading caravan a few years back. I guess I am an orphan again.
What were your parents like? I'm sorry for your loss. What were your parents like?
I suppose they were a bit of an odd couple, being an Argonian and a Khajiit, but they adored each other, and us. Despite their previous profession, they were good people.
I'm sorry for your loss, Inigo.
That means a great deal. Thank you.
Tell me more about your past.
My brother and I found much work as sellswords. We never made it to the Imperial City, but we made a lot of coin.
What kind of jobs did you do?
A bit of giant killing here, a bit of witch slaying there. We took gold when it was offered, but sometimes we worked for nothing. It is hard to deny those in need, whether they have coin or not. We made more than enough from those who could pay anyway.
Where did your travels take you?
All over Cyrodiil, from the Gold Coast to the Gerald Mountains. It is a wonderful land, but quite tame compared to Skyrim. Those were happy times, traveling or working during the day, camping out under the stars at night. Life was good. I awoke one morning to a lot of noise outside our tent. My brother staggered in, bleeding, and pushed our father's sword into my hand. He said that if I loved him, I would run. He used the last of his strength to rip out the back of the tent and push me down the slope beyond. Some Khajiit-hating locals had blamed us for a spate of robberies in the area, and had decided to take the matter into their own hands. 12 of them had snuck up on us in the night. My brother died, but I live because of him.
What was your brother's name?
His name was Fergus. I miss him very much, but part of me is glad he did not witness what became of me after his passing.
Losing him that way was bound to affect you. I'm sure he would have understood.
Maybe you are right. It is a nice thought, but I suppose I will never know.
Inigo's future dialogue options in part depend on the ones that you choose for him. It's part of what makes him a great character. If you are consistently kind, he will treat you as someone who has been kind. If you are consistently nasty and dismissive, well, he becomes a nastier, angrier character himself. I'm sorry. Losing your brother like that must have been terrible.
Yes, that morning I lost all that was dear to me. Unfortunately, I also uncovered a side of myself I never knew existed.
Tell me more about your past. I'm not asking this one because it's bloody obvious. Of course he does.
I was recruited by a group of bandits a few years ago. That is when I discovered skooma. It was the beginning of a lot of nastiness. I was with a bandit girl for a while. Turns out she was using me. She wanted protection, not affection. As soon as she found someone more psychopathic, I was dropped like a sack of troll dung.
Did you love her?
I thought I did. We dulled each other's pain somewhat. She seemed like the only bright thing in a very dark place. Regrettably, she was a vicious, manipulative harpy.
Yeah, women, huh? Oh boy. Tell me more about your past.
I left the bandits and took the only ally I had with me. He was also an addict, but we thought we had it under control. His name was Felix. He was a big fellow, good in his scrap. We became mercenaries together.
I often think, and I'm sure this is very intentional on the part of Inigo's writer, Smart Blue Cat, I often think that Inigo's relationships with Fergus and Felix shaped his perception of you. Basically, Inigo, if you really aren't his longtime companion, has projected onto you the characteristics of his his lost brother and his lost friend. Tell me more about your past.
After a few months, Felix and I had made a little gold, but our addiction to skooma was getting in the way. No one trusts an addict, my friend. Especially not another addict.
Do you ever miss skooma? That's silly. Of course he misses skooma. Tell me about Felix.
There is not much to tell. He never spoke about his past, but it was clear he had also been through a great deal before becoming a bandit. That life did not seem to suit him. He had been an educated man at some point, I am sure of it. He was violent, but he had retained some dim vestige of honor. I wish we had met under different circumstances. One day, Felix burst into my chamber. Instinct took over and I reacted. His murder was my second to last step on the road of dishonor. Trying to kill you was my last. My journal tells the rest. Read it if you want. I do not enjoy speaking of these things. That is my story. Not a happy one, but maybe the happy stuff is still to come.
Okay, we're done here.
All right.
All right.
Okay, let us get back to it.
Now, Inigo has a tremendous amount of dialogue. 7,000 lines. That's a lot. And some of that dialogue is only going to be unlocked later in the story. In fact, most of that dialogue is going to take a long time to unlock. But it's especially worth noting that some dialogue only gets unlocked when you are sitting with Inigo in a tavern, and some dialogue only gets unlocked after a few events that happen as you travel the world with him. So what we're going to do now is... Oh, well, first, hello, Sofia.
Was there something you wanted?
Follow me.
You've been thinking about me, haven't you?
Always my babe. Alright, so what we're going to do now, if you look in the bottom right-hand corner, you see that we're a little bit tired and thirsty and hungry. So we are indeed heading for that tavern. We're going to have a little talk with Inigo in the tavern. We might take a nap. And then we are going to head out and continue our great adventure.
You must be one of those wizards from the college in Winterhold.
And by great adventure, I mean, you know...
Fancy yourself the adventuring type, eh? It's just as well. I doubt your combat prowess would prove valuable in a real battle anyway.
If I weren't a first-level character, I'd still probably ignore you.
I've never seen Mjol this upset about anything. The city really gets to her.
Well met, friend. How can I help you?
Has it occurred to you that what...
Mjol told me that it isn't this bad everywhere. Maybe one day I'll venture out and see if she's right.
No, because I'm going to be chopping your head off in the near future.
Mjol's brought me nothing but safety and peace of mind. And some lessons with the blade.
That's not going to help you. And into the Bee and Barb.
Need anything? Or take a seat by the fire and I'll send someone over.
If your allegiance lies with the Empire, we haven't much to discuss.
Yeah, what do you want? If this is about the meadery, we can talk later.
New around Riften? Take my advice. Stay at the Bee and Barb. The bunkhouse isn't for you.
Thanks a lot.
Hmm?
How can I help you?
Jade is from Interesting NPCs.
How can I help you?
A legend we all know and love.
I think you've had plenty, Volwolf. Maybe you should head on home.
Something troubling you? What would you have me do? I will aid you if I can.
Suit yourself.
Fair enough.
Believe, believe the Dragonborn comes. It's an end to the...
Take a load off, my friend. You have earned it.
Beware,
look alive, will you?
The Dragonborn
yes, Mom.
comes.
Let's have a talk.
Yes, my friend.
Let's chat.
Yes, why not?
This is an ode to Skyrim's truest sons and daughters. The Storm.
What do you think of Skyrim so far?
It has many troubles, but it is worth protecting. There is much beauty in this land. Do you like it here?
Sometimes I think Skyrim's beauty is just dressing, and it's rotten to the core and filled with people who'd like to kill me, and strange looming people who stare at me, like horrible looming people who stare at me! Skyrim's troubles will have trouble with me. Let's talk of other things. Well, Grebo actually thinks this first one, but he's going to be dishonest with Inigo because Grebo is a very dishonest person. Skyrim's troubles will have trouble with me.
Yes, with me also. We will be legends, my friend. What do you think they will call me in the songs?
Inigo the deaf and blind. Inigo the talkative. But of course, what he wants to be called, Inigo the brave.
Yes, Inigo the Brave. I like it. I am worthy of the title. Just hearing you say it makes me want to jump into a dragon's mouth.
Even before he opened that rubbish heap he calls a shop.
You wanted...
That was unexpected. What's on the
When
menu?
we were little, my brother and I would sometimes dress up in our father's gear.
Mm-hmm.
It took two of us to raise his sword.
So, Inigo, did you just see that, or was I hallucinating again? I think hallucination is the best explanation of that moment. Let's get back to this.
What is on your mind?
Sorry, I've no.
Let's chat.
Yes, why not?
What's the matter?
That was Immersive Wenches. That was a little problem with the body that particular character had, not matching the outfit she was assigned. I believe the term is, oops. So, do you fear death?
No, I fear reincarnation. If I came back as a chicken, I don't know how I would go about ending my life. I could run at a saber cat, I suppose.
This is for you.
All hail to you are the High King. In your great honor,
Chickens don't have such a bad life, being fed and taken care of and such.
Oh, trust me, they do. Always clucking about, watching everyone, judging everything, having to exchange information for feed. Terrible.
Inigo is brilliant. What would you want to come back as?
Me, of course, but a different me. A me who makes better choices and always gets the ladies. What would you come back as?
you are the High King. In your drink and we sing.
Let's talk about something else.
Okay.
This is actually what we need to get to if we're going to trigger the quest I'm trying to trigger for Inigo. What was your brother like?
He was my best friend. He is with the gods now, if you believe in such things. Maybe he's waiting for me in the afterlife.
I'm sure he is, Inigo.
It is nice of you to say. I hope you are right. He always said I would make something of myself. I do not wish to prove him wrong.
You know, Grebo probably really likes Inigo. Inigo is tremendously sincere. Which isn't going to stop Grebo from hiding behind Inigo when the combat starts. Were you always close?
Always. As soon as we were old enough to get into scrapes, we always had each other's backs. He was the finest swordsman I ever knew.
Of course.
Giving up the skooma must have been hard. Your brother would be proud of you.
Yes. Giving up skooma is the hardest thing I have ever done. I still feel the need from time to time, but I will not give in to temptation. Always. As soon as we were old enough to get into scrapes, we always had each other's backs. He was the finest swordsman I ever knew.
You're no slouch with the sword. He must have been amazing.
He was outstanding. If his killers hadn't taken us unaware, he would have ended them all.
I am sorry for your loss, Inigo.
You are kind. Thank you. Let's talk of other things.
Why do you like Riften so much?
The smells, the sounds, the danger. It suits me very much. It feels alive.
What brought you to Riften the first time?
After I quit the bandits, I came to Riften looking for a way to make coin. My partner and I found a job or two, but the real bounty was the city itself.
Still refuses to cooperate. What did you want to do?
I've known
I do like
a long
Riften
time.
too.
Of course you do. You have taste and ambition.
And it's warm here. Do you think the Thieves Guild is a good thing? Well, that's a ridiculous question.
Good for thieves, not so good for everyone else. They're usually only a menace if you're rich and stupid. They have my vote, to be honest.
Not mine. They're horrible, useless thugs. What do you think of the Thieves Guild?
Vex turned me away when I tried to join. I tried to impress her by picking her pocket. It was a bad move.
Yes. let's talk about something else.
Okay. He was my best friend. He is with the gods now, if you believe in such things. Maybe he's waiting for me in the afterlife.
So your brother was called Fergus? That's interesting.
Our parents enjoyed unusual names.
Unusual is good. Who wants to be normal?
Not me. Normal is boring. To think, my mother almost called me just Sargo. What an uneventful life I would have had.
Did those ebony weapons you own belong to your parents?
No, I liberated them from a tomb some time ago. I sold my mother and father's weapons for skooma money. Such a loss.
Will you ever try to get them back?
My mother's bow and my father's sword are long gone now. I doubt I will see them again. If you ever hear anything about them, let me know though.
A little hint for a future quest. I'm sorry for your loss, Inigo.
You are kind. Thank you. Let's talk of other things.
I think that's enough chit-chat for now.
Fair enough.
Alright. We've now asked him pretty much everything. Well, we can do this line.
Yes. I have never been very good though. I enjoy writing songs, but sometimes it is more fun just making up words as I go along.
Thanks a lot.
Improvisation keeps the mind sharp and boredom at bay.
If I asked, would you sing something while we're traveling?
Maybe, but nothing too serious. I would rather save my proper songs for the Bard's College. For now, anyway.
Why?
Well, I know it is silly, but my songs are special to me. I would rather perform them in a special place. However, if you just want me to improvise something while we are traveling, maybe I can help you out. We will see.
Any thoughts?
This is nice. Two companions relaxing in an inn together. I wonder when we will next get the chance. You lead, I follow.
There you are. I've been looking everywhere for you. I've got this thing I'm supposed to deliver. Your hands only. Let's see. Looks like that's all. I have to leave.
And Lily has just succeeded. Lily has just succeeded in delivering something through the floor. That's pretty amazing. Let's see what she handed us. Black Horse Carrier, Black Horse Carrier. Black Horse Carrier, edition 17. Thank you for reading the latest edition, blah, blah, blah. This time, the honor goes to Chirico, working at Icicle Apothecary location. With his donations, he really helped our cause. Alright, I do want to point this out, that Black Horse Carrier has detected Icicle Valley and is using a Icicle Valley location name. Unfortunately, there's a tiny little slip there, but hey, it does know who Chirico is, and it is thanking him for his kind donation to the Black Horse Carrier. Shout out to you, Chirico. With his donations, he really helped our cause. Last but not least, don't forget to read the famous Jovassa's Rumors and Gossip on the last page. Have a good reading, and thanks to you for trusting us. The Black Horse Carrier, read by Ulfric Stormcloak himself. The Civil War. Dead refugees have been found in the hold of the Reach. According to witnesses, it might be due to an isolated group of Imperial soldiers. The number of victims has not been confirmed yet. Travelers beware. A group of Draugr has been seen heading towards a camp of rangers in the area surrounding Karthwasten. The battle did not last long, as a dragon wiped them all out. Apart from that, a camp of Stormcloaks has been wiped out by a troop of soldiers from the opposite faction, not far from Falkreath. The few survivors have been prisoned. Refugees on their way from Markarth to Riften have been slaughtered by necromancers. I'm not honestly sure if these are entirely randomly generated or if these are events that Skyrim is keeping track of somewhere and are then being read by the Black Horse. I have, however, occasionally found bodies in the places mentioned as having bodies by the Black Horse Courier, so I suspect these events are really being tracked somewhere. I just don't know. The Dragon Crisis. A dragon has been slain by Redguard mercenaries near the city of Icicle Valley. Hey, Icicle Valley, another shout-out. The people of Icicle Valley are wondering when the Jarl will do something about the Dragon Crisis. To prevent a potential attack, the city of Whiterun has sent a powerful mage against a dragon. The fight is still going on when I'm writing this article. Meanwhile, in Windhelm, people are helpless. In addition to this, and hopeless, and kind of dopey. In addition to this, not far from the city she lives in, Dushnik witnessed a ferocious battle between adventurers and a dragon. I met an adventurer once looking to buy weapons to fight these dragons. Never saw him again, she said. Javasa's Rumors and Gossip. Greetings to the readers of my articles. Javasa hopes that the reader will be pleased to read this one. Javasa has seen the Serpent Doomstone in Winterhold. Little hint for people looking for the Serpent Doomstone. Javasa likes the shiny lights and colors coming out of the stones. Javasa has seen one of these walls with the strange writings on it in a place called Volenrud. Nords say it is the dragon language. Interesting. Adventurers who travel a lot may have to rent some warm bed. The prices in Skyrim are not really high. Javasa paid 10 septims to sleep. And finally, a little bit of fan art, a little screenshot. All right, that's it for that copy of the Black Horse Courier.
Great honor we
Come to
drink
think of
and
it,
we
I don't trust
sing.
you either. But at least your family.
We're the children of
Anything you say.
Skyrim, and we fight all our lives. And when Sovngarde beckons, every one of us dies. But this land is ours, and we'll see it wiped clean of the scourge that has sullied our hopes and our dreams.
Why don't they listen to me, Kirava? Why won't they do as I say?
All hail to Ulfric!
Yeah. What's your problem?
How should I know?
In your great
They always try to take advantage of me. Give them an inch and they'll take a mile.
If you've got the coin, you're welcome here. Otherwise, hit the road.
I'd like to rent a room.
Sure thing. It's yours for a day. I'll show you to your room. Right this way.
Welcome to the Bee and Barb, my lord. If I can interest you in one of our special drinks, you let me know.
The sad girl who's climbing the stairs up here, and sorry for taking that butt shot there. The sad girl is from the Song of Parkinson, which is a pretty good and pretty large quest mod. She has some funny dialogue. I would explore a conversation with her further, but that's going to take a little bit of time. And we really should get some sleep and then go after those darn hag ravens. Okay, here's the bedroom. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to episode 3 of Oak&IV Skyrim. Next up is a more action-packed episode, episode 4, where we actually are going to go out and tackle that hag raven's nest. Boy, it would be good to be able to pronounce that. After we tackle the Hag Raven's Nest, we're going to seize the Hag's Cure. We'll bring the Hag's Cure back, and we will finally deal with that bastard Aaron and free the women of Riften. Oak&IV Skyrim is a massively modded Skyrim Let's Play and mod showcase presenting the very best mods that the Skyrim community has to offer. I really appreciate you tuning in. Please like and subscribe. It really does help when you like and subscribe. And if you liked the video, please share. So that's pretty much it, and I'll see you on episode 4 of Oak and Ivy Skyrim.